Men, here's the truth. After 35, you don't win by chasing sparks. You win by setting the frame. Without clarity, time and silence turn chemistry into drift. Frame isn't control, it's pace, respect, and honesty. Set it early, or...
When you define the rhythm, chaos turns to calm. Attraction breathes, trust builds, and peace replaces guessing games. Frame isn't about control, it's about clarity. Be easy to enjoy, hard to derail.
Most relationships after 40 don't explode. They evaporate. Not from one dramatic betrayal, but from 1,000 small avoidances that never get challenged. The uncomfortable truth is this: you can prevent most of that erosion if you can read the early patterns and move with calm leadership. If you keep waiting, you don't buy time, you compound distance. We're discussing behaviors and unhealthy dynamics, not generalizing to everyone. Use this to spot patterns, set boundaries, and choose healthy relationships. Here's the mechanism in plain language. Compounding micro-withdrawals and unspoken scorekeeping create a slow drift. Secrecy turns little frictions into distance, and the brain starts chasing novelty instead of repairing home base. That drift becomes a lifestyle. Once parallel lives take root, we'll fix it later turns into we're roommates with history. Notice the first tell in your calendar. The shared rituals shrink. Coffee together becomes coffee near each other. The gym turns solo. Phones flip face down. I just need some me time stops being restorative and becomes a shield. It's not the me time. It's the chronic disinvitation. You start living alongside each other instead of with each other. They say, I'm just slammed lately. Could mean our time feels heavy, so I'm avoiding it. Verify by, what can we protect this week 90 minutes without phones? If we can't, what's blocking us? Respond with, I'm prioritizing time that makes us better. Let's pick a slot or a plan to fix what's in the way. Here's where most men get blindsided. Logistics expand to fill the space where intimacy used to be. The talks become all bills, kids, errands, parents, aches, deadlines. Play dies. Bedtimes diverge. One partner is always too wired or too tired, and nobody asks the only question that matters. If the tank is empty, what are we doing to fill it? Micro story. Tuesday night in Austin, David, 44, a project lead, realized him and his partner had become coordinators. He stopped asking, are we good? And instead said, we're empty, what's our refill plan? He blocked out one midweek evening without screens and one Saturday hour for a walk. The tension didn't vanish overnight, but within 3 weeks, the sarcasm eased, and they had their first laughing fit in months. Not magic, just oxygen. Notice what quietly flips here. The phone that used to be tossed on the table now lives face down, on silent, even at dinner. The ha-ha comments that were once inside jokes now land as little stings in public. Eye rolls are frequent flyers. In toxic dynamics, contempt creeps in through jokes that draw a laugh from the room and a wince from you. Those are micro wounds disguised as humor. They say, relax, it's just a joke. Could mean, I'm expressing resentment sideways because I'm scared of a direct talk. Verify by, if that joke were feedback, what would it be? Let's talk it straight for 10 minutes tonight. Respond with, I'm here for honest feedback. Not sarcasm, tell me directly and let's fix it. Hold that thought because the real test shows up when novelty calls. After 40, responsibilities balloon. Work stress spikes, bodies change. Research suggests the dopamine of new hits harder because it's rare. And intermittent reinforcement, those occasional perfect days, keeps people hooked to the hope that it'll fix everything. If your connection at home is flat, the brain seeks sparkle elsewhere. A new hobby crew, late night chats, a colleague who asks questions you stopped hearing at home. None of this is destiny. It's just physics of attention. Here's the part nobody tells you. Scorekeeping quietly poisons goodwill. I loaded the dishwasher, so you should initiate closeness. I did school runs, so stop being moody. Debts are tallied, but credits aren't felt. Men, the moment you feel yourself negotiating for closeness like a trade, you've already left intimacy and entered accounting. Then there's privacy morphing into secrecy. Privacy is healthy. Secrecy is a pattern, new passcodes. Inconsistent stories about where time went. Quick anger when you ask normal questions. Your paranoid used to shut you down. Calibrate this with calm questions and verify with behavior over words. Boundaries over surveillance. They say, "You don't trust me," could mean, "I want no accountability." Verify by, "Trust for me is clarity plus consistency." Here's what clarity looks like. Timelines that line up, access when needed, stories that match. Respond with, "I don't need to invade, I need consistency." If we can't create that, we'll adjust how close we run. Why does this all escalate after 40? More plates spinning. Less bandwidth. Avoidance gets rewarded because it reduces conflict right now. And the brain likes right now. Projection ramps up, people blame you for the thing they're avoiding in themselves. Compartmentalization gets easier: home, work, hobby, secret feelings in separate boxes. And if you accept the drift as just midlife, the story writes itself. What to do isn't complicated, but it demands steadiness. Stop playing detective, start playing scientist. Observe, ask, verify, decide. Curiosity first, boundary second, action third. If the story changes, you respond with structure, not spite. If the energy is low, you build energy before you ask for closeness. A calm leader doesn't squeeze. He creates conditions where honest connection can live. Micro story. Friday, winter in Manchester, Tariq, 41. History teacher and dad of 2 noticed a new friends-only group consuming his partner's evenings. Late texts. Lots of, "It's harmless," he said. "I'm not policing. But I won't share a home where honesty is optional." He proposed a weekly state of us walk. Phone-free evenings twice a week, and a consistent bedtime overlap. 2 weeks later, the late texts dwindled. When she bristled, he kept it calm. "If this can't work, we'll handle logistics respectfully." They reset their norms, or they would have exited without chaos. Either way, clarity wins. Let's make this practical. If you sense the strain, don't threaten, don't plead. Establish standards and invite collaboration. If collaboration fails, your boundary carries the message. I don't chase or police. I ask direct questions once, then align my actions with the clarity I get. If the story keeps changing, I'll pause intimacy and logistics until we're honest again. I prefer clarity over confusion. Here's where most men get it wrong. They escalate volume instead of precision. Go precise. What exactly changed? Sleep? Tone? Phone? Schedule? Touch? Pick one thread and pull gently. I notice we haven't laughed in 2 weeks. That's not us. What shifted? Then facilitate a solution. Energy first, sleep, stress, then connection time, then tough talk. Order matters. Checklist what to do. Audit the basics, sleep, stress, screens, and shared time. Fix energy leaks first. Schedule weekly 45 to 90-minute state of us with no phones. Focus on repair, not blame. Replace sarcasm with direct asks. Verify with timelines and consistent behavior. Set 2 non-negotiables, for example, respectful tone, clear whereabouts during late nights, and hold them. Invest outside the relationship too. Purpose, fitness, close friends, so you act from fullness, not fear. Notice what happens next when you hold standards. Manipulation loses oxygen. The person who benefits from confusion will argue for it. They'll call boundaries controlling, or your calm questions accusations. Don't flinch, don't spike. Recenter the principle. Adults can do almost anything. They just can't do it and keep the same access to you. Some partners will test with intermittent warmth, big weekend, then cold week. That's the slot machine effect. Unpredictable rewards make you chase. Name it out loud. We had a great Saturday and a silent Wednesday. I don't do hot cold. Let's design something steady. You're not begging for attention. You're contracting for how the relationship will operate. If anger shows up, keep your nervous system slow. Pause. Breathe longer on the exhale. Sit down. Low tone. Lower your heart rate before you open your mouth. Calm is contagious. So is chaos. As your composure stabilizes the room, ask for specifics. Vague pain can't be fixed. They say, whatever, do what you want, can mean, I'm overwhelmed and flooded. Verify by, we both need a breather. I'll take 20 minutes and then we'll decide the next step. Respond with, I'm stepping out for a short reset, so we handle this with respect. Then we'll sort it. Hold the line on contempt. Once contempt nests, attraction withers. If jokes cut, say so. If eye rolls show up, mark it. That comment was disrespectful. If we're joking, it's shared. If we're hurting, it stops. You're not policing tone because you're fragile. You're protecting the environment where love can live. Plants don't grow in polluted air. And let's talk about polarity without going graphic. Closeness follows energy, not entitlement. If either of you is burned out, desire drops, and pressuring for it is a losing game. Build energy together. Sleep better, move your bodies, do things that spark pride. Then reintroduce play simple touches, private jokes, a quick dance in the kitchen. It's adult to rebuild the soil before expecting fruit. Here's a subtle reframe. You're not trying to keep someone. You're building a culture you're proud to inhabit. If your partner wants in, great. If not, you keep the culture and adjust the cast. That stance boundaries over surveillance, calm verification over accusation. Standards over scrambling pulls you out of fear and into self-respect. A quick word on money and autonomy. After 40, finances can become secret keeps. Separate accounts aren't the problem. Secret accounts are. Agree on transparency rules that protect both freedom and trust. Thresholds for checking in, timelines for big decisions, visibility on recurring commitments. You're not asking permission. You're honoring the team. You may be thinking, but what if it's already far gone? Then you test it. Propose a 30-day reset, weekly state of us, 2 phone-free evenings, 1 shared activity, 1 tough conversation. If energy and respect rise, keep building. If you get stonewalled, escalate to a professional. If contempt persists, you may need to exit not with rage, but with dignity. Here's the part nobody tells you about prevention. You don't need perfection. You need early signals and fast adjustments. Catch the scheduled drift and jam a wedge of connection back in. Catch the sarcasm and replace it with specificity. Catch the secrecy and swap it for clarity. Teach people how to treat you by how you treat you when storms hit. One last boundary you can copy-paste into your life. I can handle hard truths. I won't tolerate half-truths. If something's off, tell me once. We'll face it together or we'll face it apart, but we won't dance around it. You're a man who chooses clarity over chaos and leadership over panic. Not because you're unbreakable, but because you're committed to the standards that make love possible. Protect the conditions and closeness can grow at any age. Ignore them and the drift wins. Your move. Subscribe if you want weekly breakdowns like this, direct, practical, and built for men who lead with respect.